As we approach the end of the year, what a lot of things we've got to look back on with a great deal of pride for 2012. One of the big things, of course, with the Olympic Games, such a massive global success and a great success for the UK. Some of those volunteers who really made it work this time have been thanked today. A carol being thrown by the Mayor of London. We're joined by two of those volunteers today. Boris Johnson will be entertaining, amongst others, Amran Hussain. Good to see you. Also joining us, games maker Sally Ashford. It's a bit of an interesting one, this, isn't it, Amran, in that this concert today, I mean, to clarify, it's for London ambassadors.
It is, yes.
What's the difference between an ambassador and a games maker?
Well, really, there isn't much of a difference. We're both volunteers. As an ambassador, we were representing London, so we were helping people, tourists and visitors to London, whereas games makers, we were directly involved with the spectators and Olympians. So that's the difference, really. Some of us wore pink shirts, some of us wore purple ones. So that's about
right. Oh, well, there you go. It all boils down to the colour scheme, which makes a big thing out of all this. But I'll tell you what, Sally, what an incredible year, what an incredible summer. What was it like actually being directly involved in everything that was going on?
Absolutely amazing. It was a life-changing experience, really incredible. Yeah.
What was your key role in all of this?
I was a medal chaperone, so I had the pleasure of escorting the athlete in the aquatics centre that won a medal round through the press zone, through the corridors, back to their team area and to go and get their medal.
Now, the big thing with that is, of course, does that mean you got to chaperone Tom Daley?
I did, yes.
What was he like?
He was brilliant. He was so excited about winning, as was all the team. I mean, my team, they all jumped in the pool at the end, and my team leader was saying, "You need to get him." And I was like, "Well, I can't jump in," you know. But yeah, they were really excited, and the atmosphere on that occasion was unbeatable.
Talking of the atmosphere, you were at the ceremonies, was it the opening or the closing ceremonies you did?
Yes, so the opening and the closing ceremonies. But the most significant role I had was in the Olympic opening ceremony. And I still remember that moment, that night.
And what were you doing in that? Were you dancing?
I was a 60s dancer, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And
that presumably took an awful lot of training, practice, rehearsal.
It did, yes. I mean, we were rehearsing from March onwards, and the weeks leading up to the actual ceremony itself, we were doing non-stop from 9 o'clock in the morning till, God knows, midnight. So it was an unbelievable experience, but also an exhausting one as well.
What's it like actually being in the Olympic Stadium, knowing that you are at that point centre of attention with the world watching, and with the atmosphere which there must have been in there? I mean, I can't even get my head around the sort of what must have been going through your head.
It was a very emotional experience, really. I don't think anything can compare to it, and I don't know if I will ever have the same opportunity again in my life. When I came out to my performing spot, I remember looking at the 80,000 spectators and couldn't believe where I was, and being in the centre of attention with 4 billion people watching me. So it was...
I mean, of all the experience with all this, I wonder, Sally, what it was like because we saw it actually at the closing ceremony for the Olympics and the Paralympics, when actually games makers were given this immense thanks by people like Lord Coe, but actually the response from the people in the Olympic Stadium at that time was phenomenal. I mean, did you really get that when you were, just wandering out and about in your games maker uniform, that sense from people that they were appreciating what you were doing?
Definitely, yeah. Everyone stopped to talk to you, asked you what role you were doing, and almost applauded you out and about in the stadium. So it was great.
And with it being such a huge operation, as we know it, I mean, obviously any Olympic Games is, to know that you guys actually, as was said by all the officials, it is you guys as games makers and as ambassadors that really made this work. Is that something you can really hold with you? I mean, will you ever forget that?
No. That's something to draw on for the rest of our lives,
Wonderful.
I have to add that, as games makers and volunteers, we did our best actively being involved with the games, but the whole nation as a whole and Londoners as a whole, they got together, and as Boris said in the parade, that there were people talking to each other in the trains, which doesn't usually happen. No. And that kind of attitude and camaraderie will continue for years to come, and I hope that
Oh, let's hope so. What a great attitude. Amran, Sally, thank you both very much for coming in this morning. Good to see you. You loved it, didn't you, Charlie?
Oh, it was absolutely a highlight of my career. It was amazing to be involved in it. Really.